Just cleaned, sanded and cleaned and vacuumed this engine room, hopefully for the last time. It's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good. I'm getting ready to put on a thick coat of white latex paint. No, white epoxy paint. I've painted the overhead with white latex paint, and nobody will ever see it, but I know it's there, so it makes me feel better. White epoxy paint coming up soon. Okay, I thought I'd do an engine room update, even though we're pretty much not complete with anything in here, but we've made a lot of progress. One of the main things is I have a switch, and it turns on 4 120 volt LED lights, and that's huge for me. In my old age, I don't see so well, so it's good to have light. We set the tanks. These are the original fuel tanks. We had removed them, cleaned them, and painted them real well. They're actually in pretty good shape. Set them right back where they were. Got a new fill hose and a new vent hose that goes back there. It's kind of tight. The only thing I did different was originally they were strapped down with some metal strapping, which wasn't very strong, but they couldn't go anywhere because the engines were right up tight to them. So this time I put a wooden frame around them, put 2x2, and on the top I got a 1x2, and it's bolted back to that additional verticals that I added to hold up the deck. And this gives me a big plywood surface to put mechanical and hardware and electrical and everything in it. It's just a nice deal. I still have steering, still have to put the hot water heater in here, and controls for the engines. I'm not sure how we're going to adapt the old controls to the engine controls, but we'll figure out something. Alright, these are 2 batteries and 2 battery boxes that came with the boat. I don't really care for either one of them. I think I'm going to make a wooden battery box, and we'll keep these batteries as long as they last. They hold and charge pretty good right now. And we don't have much house power. We have some lights and a couple of fans in the V-berth, and that's about it for house. So they might do just fine. Then underneath here, this is the sump for the air conditioner condensate, and it's totally wired up and pumped, so it'll pump overboard. And this is the control. I got a hand off and automatic. I'll need to get labels. This is the air conditioner control box. It is wired and ready to go. This is a little battery charger that came with the boat, and I think it was pretty new. It looks great. Underneath here is the bilge pump for the back of the boat. It's a big one, and hopefully it'll never see any water. We're going to have to get a lot of water in the boat before it kicks on. The big PVC is the fills for the water tank. I've got one on this side, and I've got one on this side. They go through the block into the tanks. The red is the discharge for the air conditioner condensate pump. This is the 2 water tanks, a little manifold, which puts them into one, which goes over here to the pump, which I don't have finished because I'm waiting on some fittings. Again, I put plywood in front of this tank. Makes for a good work surface. I'm going to turn around now. Okay, across the back transom, I put a big heavy white oak board. And this is so that when we put the engine support bracket and crank down on all of those bolts, they won't crush the plywood. This is like a big, I don't know what you'd call it. It's just spread the load into a large area. The ones on the bottom, I have smaller plates ordered. They'll be mostly in compression because the outboard's going to push against them, not pull. The outboard will pull against the ones on top, so I went to a little more trouble. Then I made a cardboard box, the exact size of my generator, and I put it in here and kind of played with it, and I didn't have much choice. The generator has to go here. I lifted it up as high as practical because I like to be able to get under things. So anyway, that's a piece of mahogany glued down to the center stringer, and then crossways are 2 pieces of oak, and they fit, or should fit, exactly under the stringers that the generator have built into them. They have steel supports, so they should fit right here. I should be able to use this intake for generator water, cooling water, and I'll have to drill another one in the back for the air conditioner cooling water. The cooling pump is on order. The hot water heater goes right here, but I don't want to put it in until the generator's in because I'm sure we'll smash it. And then we have another tank that lays flat here, and it will be for the generator because these big tanks will have mixed gas in them. So kind of unfortunate. We didn't think about that till the end. Got a permanent receptacle there. We got a permanent receptacle here, which will be to power the hot water heater. This receptacle will power the 2 small battery chargers for the outboard batteries. I'll have 1 battery for each outboard, totally separate from house batteries. There'll be nothing connected between them. I may put the 2 batteries together with a left-right switch in case you need a little oomph to get them started one day, but they won't be connected to anything else. Oh, we still have fuel filters to put in and a lot of wiring left. This is the wiring harness for the generator that used to be in this boat, and I'm hoping it'll all work out. I hope it all runs to the front. I don't really know until I get the generator in here and start hooking it up. But anyway, made a lot of progress. White paint is wonderful. Bright lights are wonderful. It's fall here now, so leaves come out of trees like crazy. It's hard to keep it clean in here, but anyway, it's been good. These stainless steel vents came with the boat. I don't think they're original. I think the original ones were fiberglass and somebody had these fabricated. But I've been thinking about how to keep water from getting into them, and how to keep water from dripping on the fuel tank because the opening is directly over the fuel tank. And then I realized we don't need these things. We don't have 500 horsepower in the engine room anymore. We'll have 24. So get enough air through these 2 vents, which are watertight for the most part. And I took these off. There was one here and one here. And of course, the glass under them was cracked and there was a little bit of rot, and I patched them up. They're not finished, but it's sealed. Should be watertight now. This one had a big soft spot under it, so I cut the fiberglass out, took it off, cleaned it up, patched it up, put it back. Just need to make it pretty now. It's all watertight, I believe.